You had been 15 years old and a skating prodigy, being one of the most popular and biggest ice shows there was in Japan. Well, being a part of it, you have to say. You were the head, the ice princess, the Japanese version of Swan Lake, and the hero as well. You were so scared of messing up, seeing the huge crowd waiting for the show to begin. That was when you felt a hand on your shoulder. Your idol had placed her hand on your shoulder. Sadly, she had been the villain of this story. Do not worry, Yin. You'll do fine. She smiled as the curtains closed, meaning it was time for you to go on stage. You sighed, putting your hands onto your side and moved out to the middle of the stage. Before the curtains opened, you turned the opposite way and placed your hands in the air. That was when the curtains opened. The audience began to be quiet as you started. You moved around the stage as people came into the stage and circled around you as you continued. The lights went out. Gasps could be heard. The light turned back on, and when she appeared, she moved her hand to her face and laughed. Oh, my dear, the snow has faltered and shown itself. And I am his what? She laughed once again. She quickly came to you and grabbed your hand, twirling and making you dizzy. When she let go, you twirled and fell. You looked up at her with fury in your eyes, her laughing at you. Oh, thou you say, but I've cared for my people, but thou you never did. They would never love you as they do me, you spoke, getting up. Oh my, you wish thou innocent child? You know nothing. She laughed. That was when she took out your crown. For you are no longer queen. She smiled, placing the crown on her head. Magically, her outfit being changed as dark snow fell around her, revealing her new look. You are nothing, and if you wish to claim back thou kingdom from me, come find me, she said, smiling, as she vanished into thin air. My lady, some of the girls spoke as you fell to the floor, like you were out of breath. Thou is not your lady any more. I have thou failed you. You raised your hand up in the air and clenched it. But I shall reclaim my standing as your lady. You then got off and went off the stage. As the show went on, you got more worried as you were told many heroes and famous people would be watching, or was watching. You were so scared of messing up even more now. I shall ask for my lady's hand to help me to defeat you, for I have not the power to defeat you, but she does. That was when the light went on you as you went on stage. It has taken some time for you to show your face, the villainess spoke. I wish to show how much I have grown from the weak queen to thou a queen who will look to her people and help them when they need. You placed your hand and the other on your chest. Now, let us thou dance to prove ourselves. She spoke, giggling. With that, she was now on the floor, you standing above her. You, thou have a tent to redo yourself. I take pity on you. If you want to be then, shall come with me, you spoke. No, I shall never respect you. You treat your people as if you are them, and that's not how it's done. She then quickly got up and tried to leave the stage, but guards pushed her back and took her away. You turned to the boy lead and smiled. Thank you. You are forever in my thanks. He went up to you and grabbed your hand. Then, shall my thanks be your hand? He asked, which you gasped and then nodded. That was when the show ended. Everyone came out and bowed as the crowd clapped and cheered. Now that you were off stage, you took off your skates and walked to your dressing room. Soon, It was going to be autographs, so you wanted to do some touch-ups on things. Once you sat down, you saw that the lotus you made for good luck was melting, so you made it back to normal. You sighed. I wish my beautiful things could stay. You smiled at the crystallized ice. That was when the door opened and walked in your idol. You did fantastic, she smiled. Thanks, so did you. You spoke. That was when her smile turned to a frown. Is something wrong? You asked as you turned in your chair to her. Tonight was my last show, and the show you gave made me happy that this was my last show. So, Miss Yin, will you take my place? She asked as she placed her fingers below your chin. Miss Charlotte, I would gladly take your place, but I have my own I must keep up. Both of you smiled at each other. Then, Miss Yin, let's go see our fans. You nodded and got up, following her as the two of you made it to the table. Seeing how many people there was kind of made you nervous. As you sat and talked with everyone came by, and that was when a green-haired boy came in front of you. His cheeks red. It looked like he had just gone out of school. Miss Yin, could you sign this book? His face was down, and you saw his cheeks were very pink. Sure. You smiled and took out the book. That was when you turned to a random page and saw a page just for you. It had been about your quirk, title, things you were good at, and even more, having a drawing of you as well. That was when you saw he was starting to look, and had shocked eyes. I'm sorry, I'm not a creep at all. It's just a thing I do in my free time. What shocked him was when you began to giggle. What is your name? You asked. Izuku Midoriya, he bowed. Well, Izuku Midoriya, how long have you been seeing my shows? You asked. Since Sakura. He sighed. You giggled. Then gave him his notebook back. But when he was leaving, he opened his book, saw your name, and a number. When you got into the car and the driver went on, you looked out the window. It had been snowing hard, looking like a blizzard. You wondered if you would be able to get home just fine. You laid your head on the door. That was when the car came to a halt. Is everything all right? You asked, and all you got was a shake. I'm sorry, but it seems to be the road is closed. You sighed when hearing this. It's all right. You spoke, then saw something. I'll be back. You opened the door. Wait, what are you doing? You heard, but you didn't care. What's going on? You asked when you got to the police. Well, the road has collapsed, one of them said. If you want, I can help. Maybe make sure people that are on the under part of the road are good and stable, and the roads are stable on top. You say as they both looked at each other. Well, we'll let you help, as long as you don't get hurt. You nodded as you then ran and jumped down the layer. You had helped people get up to safety and making sure it didn't collapse. That was when you heard crumble coming from the left of you. The ramp was collapsing. You had to get out of and ran as fast as you could back up. You ran to the opening, but no one was there, and that was a bad thing, and a bad timing. You were overheating, so your quirk won't work. Hey! You heard a voice when you looked up. It was the same boy. That Izuku Midoriya kid was there, reaching out his hand for you to take it. You used the left of your quirk to reach for his hand, helping you up just as a whole thing collapsed behind you. When you had finally gotten up, you noticed your leg was bleeding. Crap, you hissed as you touched it. I'll take you to a safe area. He helped you up, and he was bright red. When you finally got back home, you couldn't skate for 6 months. You were just lucky not to be able to skate forever, though you and Midoriya had gotten close. You had cheered him on until you were able to skate again. When you got out on the ice again, So did he. And that was how the once nobody and the one of the most popular, famous ice skaters met and fell in love.